And we're back.
Welcome to Downstairs Den&D, where we play D&D in the den downstairs, not a basement. Before the break, our group was continuing their investigation of a warehouse seemingly tied to the Zentarum kidnapping of Floon Blagmar and a companion. After taking a further look around and tying up a couple of the Kinku that they attacked last session, the group found a secret room with a few smuggled treasures, as well as the son of the former Open Lord of Waterdeep, Dagalt Neverember, his son, Renair Neverember, hiding in the closet underneath the stairs. Shortly after meeting Renair and explaining the situation, the City Watch arrived, led by Captain Sistis Staggett, who our group met last session. After letting him know what was going on, he gave them the advice to keep the blood off the streets with a physical copy of Waterdeep's Code Legal, and then asked them, not so nicely, to remove themselves from the property so the City Watch can continue inspecting it. The group now finds themselves stationed outside of the gates to the Zentarum warehouse alongside Renair.
I guess I'll turn to Renair and say, well, you said something about him being taken down to the sewers?
Yes, I heard them talking about a sewer hideout, and it's rather well known, even if we don't know exactly where it is, that the Xanathar hideout does use several locations scattered about the sewers, and the Xanathar, whoever they may be, resides and runs their operation out of Skullport, deep within the sewer labyrinth beneath the city and attached to Undermountain.
I just kind of look over to the people from Waterdeep, see if they recognize any of this.
Ciendithis and Baracus, you would know Undermountain as the large dungeon complex beneath the well of the Yawning Portal. And Ciendithis, you have been to Skullport before. You know that it is several layers down underneath the city. Mm-hmm. You have been there for a match.
I would express that and tell everybody.
And Baracus, you would know and be able to confirm that the Xanathar Guild does tend to have several safe houses hidden, as well as other criminal factions do tend to use safe houses scattered about the sewers within the city.
I also convey that information.
Renair says, of course, who knows where exactly they were headed. Perhaps if we ask around, maybe someone saw where they went from the warehouse.
Do you intend to accompany us down there?
Floon is my friend. If you'll have me, I'm a bit worn down. I've been hiding in a closet for a few days, but I believe I can be of assistance.
Does it look like he'll be worth anything?
Give me an investigation or insight check.
I just don't.
Or a perception or insight check.
Yeah, because I just don't want to carry his corpse up from the sewers.
Ooh.
Yeah, we can leave him down there.
7.
7. Was 7 perception?
Yeah.
He looks tired.
To the sewers.
So is there anyone out on the streets? I don't know, what does the street look like?
There is a bit of a crowd massing. Think of in your own life, anytime you see late evening, you see cops, lights down the street. You're probably peeking out your windows. There's probably a small crowd gathering on the street, whispering to each other, trying to figure out why the City Watcher, just stormed this building and kicked all of you out of it.
What building is like directly across from that one, from the warehouse?
Looks like primarily residential. Couple other large buildings. Hard to tell exactly what they are from the outside, but there's no like signs indicating that they're specifically businesses.
Like make my way through the crowd and kind of ask general questions to the populace.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intelligence investigation check. Baracus.
Nat 20.
You start asking around, and a kindly old woman, a halfling, tells you that they saw they did see a couple folks drag a body out of the door of the yard here. She tells you she just got explaining this to one of the guard, or one of the watch, and she points to an alley down the street and says that she saw them dragging Floon in that direction.
I thank her a bunch. Actually, let me give her. I want to give her my blue scale that I got, or the purple.
The purple dragon scale.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well, thank you. And she takes it and looks at it oddly and starts, as you walk away, kind of starts rubbing it and sees the paint coming off on her fingers. So as you all, I'm assuming, make your way toward the alley that Baracus tells you this woman gave him the information for.
I'll follow Baracus.
Good. Follow.
You all turn a corner and find a dead-end alley that toward the back there does appear to be a circular metal cover inset into the pavement.
Like a manhole cover?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to try and lift it.
Very easy. You take a look, and there does appear to be a ladder heading down into pitch blackness.
Should we take a short rest? I only have 3 hit points.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if anyone wanted to do a rest.
Yeah.
Or before we get going again, or.
Should we... Oh, can we, you said it's a dead end. Can we just, set up camp at the dead end of the alley and, cover the...
Yeah, a short rest just requires a little bit of a break. You don't need, a place to lay down or anything. You can absolutely take a short rest here if you want to.
Just find a box tilted up on its side. Sit down on.
After a few moments, a couple City Watch do kind of appear at the edge of the sewer. Renair goes up to speak with them as you all are resting. After a few minutes, he returns to let you know that, unfortunately, he is not going to be able to go with you. The City Watch are kind of demanding that he or some of you go with him or with them for some additional information and follow-up. And he has agreed, since he was the one that was there before, to do so. He does implore. I do implore you all, please find Flume. The Kinku and the others that attacked seem to have been just hours ago. He very much could still be alive.
Let's go.
As he turns and leaves. So you all take a short rest.
You guys feeling better?
So short rest mechanics. Some of you probably may have some abilities, maybe not a whole lot at level 1, but that reset on a short rest. In addition, you may spend your hit die on a short rest, meaning all of you at level 1 have 1 hit die, and you can roll it and add that plus your Constitution modifier and regain that many hit points.
That's not great.
Do you only get spell slots back after a long rest?
Yep.
At a long, yes, spell slots and half of your hit die.
Your hit die's not a D4. Is
Shane,
it?
yeah, there's no way your hit die is a D4 as a monk. It's probably a D8 or a D10.
It's a D8, I believe.
Much better.
Plus a constitution.
Oh, hey, Beanie.
But
Beanie's
add
my
your,
dog.
add your Constitution modifier as well.
So if I casted Cure Wounds seemingly prematurely, I don't need to do that, right?
Right?
I mean,
Correct.
it's still.
And I'll let you take that back. Well, I mean, it's either. I mean, you can save your hit die in case you guys take another short rest at some point today, or you can spend the spell slot on Cure Wounds and still have your hit die. Either way, you're either giving up a hit die or a spell slot.
I don't know.
The spell slot's probably more flexible,
Get the-
so it
We get the
saves
white
that.
So it's D8 plus Constitution.
Yes.
6 plus 2, 8. So originally I had 4, so I think I got it all back again.
So that would either put you up to 12 or whatever your max is if it's
Well,
lower than 12.
It's 10, so I got it. So then I can take it. Not bad.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
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 I've been rewatching Community.
Me too.
Yeah.
Troy and Abed in the morning. I almost bought one of their mugs the other day.
Troy and Abed in the morning.
Morning.
Okay, so we good with that short rest?
I guess while we're sitting there, I look over at Baracus and I say, "You going to be able to carry those the entire time?"
Or yeah, after he said that they were only 10 pounds of.
So you took 3, so that would be an additional 30 pounds for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I'm just making character conversation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you offering to take them from me?
You know? Just interested you're the one other person that went and grabbed him.
So yeah, keeping in mind, that's a good point. This short rest is for an hour. You guys met, some of you just met for the first time earlier today, about 8 hours ago. Some of your paths may have crossed before, but you all have chosen to take on this assignment, mission, contract, whatever you may call it, together. Now spend a few hours together. Does anybody say anything or talk about anything or bring anything in particular up during this hour?
I asked Elisar how business is.
It's been pretty good actually. It's winter, so it's a little slow in the greenery business, but other than that, that's to be expected.
Yeah, it's about the same over with us. But everybody needs a sword.
Yeah, I didn't expect. Well, I mean, maybe not you. Didn't quite take you for the hands-on fighter.
I'm not a, dealing with swords and knives every day. I don't really like carrying them around.
See that? Separate yourself a little bit from your work.
Yeah, it's kind of to get away from my normal life. So it's a
Gotcha.
good getaway.
So you all take your rest. And then I'm assuming we're going down into the sewer manhole cover.
Yeah.
Yeah? Who's going first?
I don't want to. I have 8 hit points.
No one has that many hit points. It's level 1.
I think I have the least amount, though, right?
I mean, I currently
You definitely have the smallest hit die.
I can go down first.
Who's going down after Demea?
I'll go
I've
after.
been there.
LSR?
Yeah, I'm going down.
Okay.
Closer front.
I'll go down third, and I look like super uncomfortable about the whole thing.
Are you sure you didn't want to, sit back and miss more with your daggers?
Oh yeah.
Ciandithus, Baracus, who's going fourth? Who's going last?
I'll go ahead.
I'll go last since I have dark vision.
Is anyone taking any light down with them?
Still burning my lantern. How many hours would you say it's been since the alley? The forget the name of the CD bar, because that's
Oh,
about where I
The
lit.
dragon?
Skewer dragon.
Yeah,
Like since you left there?
yeah, that's about when I lit my lantern.
2 hours.
2 hours. All right, I'll count. I've used 2 hours of my lantern oil.
So, Demea, you climb down. You have dark vision. You're a tiefling. A putrid stream flows along this sewer tunnel, which leads in 2 directions. In one direction, you see a... Yeah, actually, give me a perception check, Demea. You see in one direction, carved or written, it's hard to tell. Again, you're the first one down. Tennyson hasn't came down with his lantern yet. He's still on his way. But you see a symbol haphazardly affixed to the wall. It appears to be a circle with 10 lines coming off of it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I recognize that from the half-elf tattoo from the warehouse.
Huh.
As others descend, once Tennyson makes it down to the ground, and I'm assuming opens his lantern, you can see that this is indeed written in a yellow chalk.
It's just the symbol, nothing else. That's
Correct. Written about 5 feet from the ladder, the base of the ladder in one direction.
Meaning that's
And
the way we
nothing
should go.
in the other direction.
No, you don't see anything in the other direction except just distance.
Okay.
Probably means we should go that way.
I'm gonna take a guess and go that way.
Okay. You all continue forward. When you get to the next intersection, you take a look around. You do see another one of these symbols etched at the edge of one of the 2 other tunnels in this intersection.
So just keep following those then.
Okay. After about an hour of following signs through the tunnels, you come to a 3-way intersection where a ladder leads up into a stone shaft. One of the familiar chalk symbols is marked on a wall nearby, and floating near the symbol is a creature about the size of a grapefruit with one bulging central eye and 4 stumpy eye stalks, just kind of peering around in random directions.
like in the sewer water, or
Just floating nearby where the symbol is
Floating.
etched.
Yeah, floating in
So it's
the
an
air.
eye with
It's about a
4 eyes.
grapefruit-sized body with a large central eye with 4 eye stalks. It looks... Hold on...
And we're walking down the dang tunnel with a lantern. Probably the most noticeable thing.
True.
It looks like that.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Nah.
Didn't we see one of those things stuffed in the shop?
Yeah.
What you saw stuffed in the shop was similar. It appeared to be a lot fairly larger, had more eye stalks, and was purple.
Can I cast Minor Illusion and wait? How big of a thing can I do?
How far are we from it?
How far did I'm gonna say, Demea, you were leading. You're 60 feet away. You noticed it when it entered your field of dark vision.
Okay.
Can we tell the gazers?
It does not appear to be hiding in any way.
Does
Did I
it
recognize
have
this
Again,
thing?
it is floating off kind of to you. This three-way intersection has all three exits appear to be kind of equidistant from each other. So it's not a T. It's kind of like a peace sign. You're approaching through one. You see opposite you in the tunnel to the left, this gazer, if that's what it's called,
Ah,
floating nearby, this symbol etched onto the wall.
Can I create a minor illusion of a female gazer that's like flirting with?
What's range on that?
ah.
30 feet.
30 feet. You would need to get a lot closer, or are you just going to put it in between you and the gazer?
I can put it in between. I want to try to lure it.
Okay. So to do that, by luring it away, by putting the gazer 30 feet between you and it, you would be putting your illusion in the tunnel that you're in. So it would just lure it toward you. Now, if you wanted to, again, this is dark vision. Luckily for you, Tennyson's light only produces so much light. So it hasn't necessarily spilled into the intersection yet. So you could ask him to close it and try to sneak up there to try to get it a bit closer. But if you were to just put it between where you are now, it would be in your tunnel.
We would also assume that something that's sitting in the darkness also has dark vision.
I mean,
with a bunch of eyeballs.
What intelligence checks are you proficient in, Baracus?
I don't think any. Yeah.
Is anyone proficient in knowledge arcana or intelligence arcana?
No.
I am.
Who is?
I am.
If you take a look at it, you're more than welcome to roll an intelligence arcana to see what you know about this thing.
21.
Oh wow. He read a book about it.
21. Yeah.
Probably did.
You've probably read a book about these things in your research into the thing that you're researching. And you believe this to be a gazer. It is said that gazers are created from the dreams of beholders and are used as sentries. A beholder can look through the eyes of one of its gazers at any time. It can't speak, but it can kind of mimic some words in a high-pitched mocking manner. Beholders find gazers amusing and tolerate their presence like spoiled pets.
So is it like, do I know if that means like is there like a range on that, or is it just anywhere? Like look through the eyes of the beholder and look through the gazer like at any distance, or?
You're, as far as you're aware, they can look through their eyes at any time.
I would tell. I've heard about these. There's called a gazer, and it usually means there could be a beholder that's looking through its eyes at any time, which probably means this is the right way, but also means doing something with this might alert them to our presence. We might just be able to take it out quickly, but
I haven't seen the thing yet, so
I guess yes, that's true. We wouldn't exactly have a bunch of people who could strong ranged weapons and dark vision. Actually,
Are we just gonna take it out?
If we kill it, it'll alert the person, right?
if it sees us, it could alert the person too. So
With a 21, I'll say that you know that the beholder has to be choosing to look through that gazer at that moment to see through its eye. So it's not like it constantly sees through all of its gazers. It's kind of like a mobile scrying orb for a beholder.
okay. Well, I guess if we distracted it, we might get lucky and not have an issue. But who knows what'll happen? There's no way of knowing whether or not it's even if there's a beholder looking through it right now. It could already be in danger.
Okay. I guess I'll cast Minor Illusion and get close.
So what's your plan?
I'm going to make a sexy female gazer. Think Bugs Bunny.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're trying to sneak up to within close enough to put the illusion into the entryway and get it to go off the other tunnelway?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first off, give me a stealth check.
Oh. Hey, I have +4. That was a 6.
So as you approach, you get about 20 feet forward when suddenly your right foot slips out from underneath you and splashes into the brown tinged water coursing next to you. In that moment, one of the gazers, all four of the gazer's eye stalks freeze, turn towards you as it slowly moves its central eye to match the gaze of its stalks, and then rushes at you. I need everyone to please roll for initiative.
As this happens, I say, shit.
You know, it's really scary for me in Sandathos because it's just darkness, and now this thing's just like rushing at us. Awesome.
That's pretty good point.
Shit. Why'd you have to say that?
We're not counting initiative yet. Or unless we're doing whatever. You got it.
Where did our pieces go?
Are we doing pieces?
I'm frozen.
I like
I'll
pizza.
just
No, we're gonna do this theater of the mind.
This is when I roll a fucking 20.
I got an awesome natural 1 on my initiative roll. I've been rolling great today. It's my second natural 1.
Demea,
You've
when
been
you're
rolling great for a while.
Yeah.
Demea's 12, Elisar is 18, Tennyson is 4. Ciendithis 2. What's your initiative? What's your bonus?
3,
Shane?
so 5.
So 5.
So 5.
And Baracus is 20. So the gazer is up first. It is going to fly at Baracus. Get up, use one movement to get 30 feet up to him. So currently, at the start of combat, the gazer is, or let's just call Tennyson, Elisar, Demea, and Ciendithis 0. Baracus is at 30. The gazer is at 60. Does that make sense?
I'm really, really afraid of your Freudian beholder there.
Cool. So the gazer spends a movement to get up to Baracus. Actually, it moves up about 20 feet to within 10 feet of Baracus, and points a eye stalk at him. A blue ray shoots out of it. And Baracus, please give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save, that's never good.
All those dice.
9.
9. Baracus, you feel this ray connect with your chest, and you are just overcome with a feeling of intense cold as you take 13 cold damage.
Bye, Baracus.
So I'm knocked out. Actually, a thing I keep forgetting to do. I have the Strength of the Grave. When I take a damage that isn't from a radiant or critical hit, reduce your hit point. That reduces my hit points to 0. I can make a charisma saving throw. DC 5 plus the damage taken. Never mind. I probably shouldn't do that now.
A charisma saving throw? So that would be a DC 18.
Yeah. So, I mean, I might as well.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, and I have +5 to charisma saving throws, so.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, one.
Yeah.
All right. So with that,
We should not be here.
the
Oh no.
gazer points another eye stalk at Demea and fires off a purple energy ray or purple ray at you. Please give me a strength saving throw.
No, that's not good.
Oh no.
We're having fun.
You are hit in the chest by this purple energy and are blown backwards 30 feet.
She was in front of a bunch of us. How's that work?
The sewer is wider than 5 feet. So I'm assuming you all are traveling away that she's just going to get blown back 30. And it is then Baracus's turn. Please give me a death saving throw.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where that
You
is.
just click the word that says death saves.
Clicked it. No. Either way, it's bad.
All right. Alisar, you are about 40 feet from this beholder. Demea just got blown 30 feet back from where you're standing. And Baracus is unconscious 30 feet in front of you. What do you do?
Also, he said the B word again.
The B word?
Gazer. Gazer. It's a gazer.
Oh.
Oh, he
I can't even run up there. Is he? How far is the beholder? Is 60 feet away from me?
The gazer is 40 feet from you.
I want to move up there 10 feet and then cast Thermal Whip at it.
Okay. Awesome. Do it.
Okay, 24. Oh, so close.
You lash out and manage to connect with this floating orb in the air. Give me damage.
For 4 piercing damage.
4 piercing damage. Okay.
Chris, do you?
No, and I'm not blowing a 4. I'm going to back up another back up 15 feet.
What's the range on Thorn Whip?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, so yeah, you only had to move up 10 to get in range.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have the rest of your movement to move backwards if you want.
Yep.
All right. So then it is Demea. You are now 70 feet from this gazer, 30 feet from your companions.
Okay. So if I run up my full speed of 30 feet, that puts the gazer 40 feet. I want to cast Vicious Mockery at it.
Okay. Let's do it. Is that an attack roll, or do I need to roll save?
No, I think it should pop up.
I think
That's
it's
a hit.
It's a wisdom save he has to make.
Oh, I make
Is it?
a wisdom saving
Yeah.
throw. That is a success.
I mean, never mind a hit. I lied.
So that will unfortunately do nothing. So that was your movement and your action. You still have 20 feet of movement left. Because you only had to move up 10 to get within range of that, because Vicious Mockery is 60 feet of range.
Okay. Then I'm gonna move. Yeah, I'll go up to where my friends are. My
All right,
people.
you get back up with the rest, and it is Ciendithis' turn.
I am next to Barak, correct?
You are next to everyone but Baracus.
Everyone but.
Baracus is 30 feet in front of you. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say he's about 20 feet in front of you. No, he's 30 feet in front of you. Yeah.
How far is the gazer?
40 feet in front of you.
I have darts. I like to shoot at it.
All right.
What would I roll for that?
You are going to roll an attack roll, so a d20. You are going to add your dexterity bonus. And I'm pretty sure monks are proficient in darts, so you will also add +2 for your proficiency bonus. That is going to hit.
Cool.
Go ahead and roll damage for darts, which I have not. What's the damage die on a dart?
D4
or D6? D4 plus dex.
Load. 3 plus dex, that'd be 7 damage.
Okay. You toss this dart out into the air and connect with this gazer on this on the left side of its central eye. It wobbles warily in the air, but does not fall. Tennyson.
As I'll run up next to Ciendithis and chuck my boot knife at it.
All right.
22 to hit.
How do you want to do this?
It is right through the center of the eye, and see, I can hit stuff.
You walk up, been crouching down halfway through your stride to pull a dagger from your boot. You flip it in the air to grab the blade rather than the hilt and toss it on your last step. As it does, it connects with the gazer in its central bulging eye, sends it hurtling backwards through the air, and it lands on the ground with a splat.
You see me? Yes.
It's me face down in shit.
I go to check on Baracus.
I am suddenly worried. I should not have mocked your dagger skills. Or I'm about to get on the bad end of you.
All right. Good job, guys.
So Brachus is bleeding out, as I understand.
Yes. So, Baracus, go ahead and give me another death saving throw.
I turn towards the spellcasters.
That's 20. That 20 means I'm stable and have 1 hit point, right?
Yes. Yes, it does. So, Tennyson, you throw your dagger, connect with the gazer. It lands with a splat. Suddenly, Baracus sits up with a deep breath,
I say,
and it
hey,
smells terrible.
He covered in a lot of poo.
and I say, hey man, nice shot.
Thanks.
It was so good it brought me back to life.
We'll retrieve my dagger from the dead, creepy thing.
Can I retrieve darts?
Yes.
Okay, I go and grab that. Also,
You can, I'm going to say you can retrieve darts that hit.
cool.
All right. So you now find yourselves in this intersection. The way you came, an unknown way, the way that is marked by this symbol with a gazer, and a ladder leading up.
I'm not going first.
Does the ladder look like it's compared to the length of the ladder we came down? How does that?
You can see the cover above. Now that if you get into a position that you can look up, you can see that there is a manhole cover probably about 10 feet after it disappears into the shaft.
I want to climb up to the manhole cover and kind of like peek up and see what's around when I look out.
As you get closer, you start to hear some music, footsteps, and just some kind of general revelry from above. Do you still open the lid?
No. So I climb back down and tell people I hear quite a few people up there.
Being down here, do I recognize any of this? Since I've been down here for the fighting pits.
Give me a... No, you have not been... You don't recognize this area of the sewers, no.
Okay.
I mean,
anytime
anytime
you've been down here, this isn't the way you've come.
Okay.
and there's another chalk outline, right?
Yeah, that's what the gazer was floating near, yes.
I mean, it's probably after the outline. Or, yeah, we just keep following the outlines, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it keeps going?
Yeah, the gazer was floating next to the, next symbol.
I see.
So yeah, if you guys continue on that way, about 10 or 15 minutes later, you find yourself approaching an intersection. Are we still in the same marching order as earlier?
I don't think Baracus is in front anymore.
Probably not.
Baracus was always in the back.
Oh yeah.
Until I bring forward.
It was Demea, Elisar, Tennyson, Ciendathus, and then Baracus. So,
Do we see any light sources ahead?
so far, no. Demea, with your dark vision, you see, or Tennyson, are you traveling with your lantern open or closed?
Open, because I can't see.
Okay.
No one's
Well,
told me to
keeping
close
in
it.
mind, when it's closed, you still have 10 feet that you can see.
Right, but yeah,
Okay.
we're not that tight of a group yet.
Fair enough. Are you guys walking back to back? Are you kind of distancing yourselves out? How are you guys traveling, continuing to move forward?
I just figured, 5-foot pacing, just in a
Yeah.
Okay.
line.
Social distance.
Right.
So Demea, just so make sure everybody understands what's going on, Tennyson is in the middle with you with a lantern that extends 40 feet of light.
Okay.
So Demea, as you guys are moving, the light extends 30 feet past where you're walking.
But you
Okay.
can see 30 feet past that.
Yeah, she has dark vision, so she can see past that anyway. Just be aware, you all are exuding that much light.
Do we want
Okay.
to be, or should we?
I mean, you and I could probably walk a little further ahead just to scout things out,
Yeah.
like 20
Maybe
feet
we
ahead.
could close the lantern and just.
I don't think he's going to close the lantern.
You could ask him in character. You could, yeah.
Oh, I want to point out the fact that like every 10 seconds or so, I'm turning around to make sure no one's following us.
Okay.
Tennyson, do you want to be casting that much light?
I mean, it's a little dark for me down here.
I understand that. But since we're like in a single file, I'm gonna see something first anyway, past your lantern. It's up to you though. I mean, I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do.
I'm not your mom.
Just
Well, if one of you guys were to scout ahead a little bit farther, maybe you could be at the edge of the lantern's light.
okay, that's fair. So I could pull away from them a little bit so that I'm past where the light goes and.
Yeah, you want to be right at the edge of his light or further?
I'll go just a smidge further so that just.
What's a
in case-
smidge?
His light is, what is it again?
40 feet.
40 feet. So I'll go 5 feet past that.
Okay. And then Elisar, where are you at in there?
I guess halfway between the two of them.
Halfway between the two of them? Okay. So Elisar, I'm going to say you're 20 feet out from Tennyson. And Demea, you're 45 feet out from Tennyson. So you're just past the edge of the light. So you can see 60 feet past
From
that. Yeah. Okay. So as you all are approaching, Demea, you see ahead another intersection approaching. Okay. As you're moving forward and whatnot, once you get to about 20 feet from the intersection, it's kind of a T. You can see that one pathway continues off forward and one goes off to your left. Okay. And as you get within about 20 feet, you hear what sounds like someone else coming down towards you, the tunnel that cuts off to the left.
In the tunnel.
Yeah. As you get closer and closer, just kind of as you get, let's say once you get up to about 15 feet, it sounds like two people dragging something. And it seems that they also hear you. Once you're both about 15 feet, you both seem to stop.
Do they see me?
You can't see them. They seem to be around the corner. But
Okay.
they also seem to have stopped, and you kind of hear some mumblings before they stop that indicates that they probably also heard you.
Okay.
Uh,
So I can't.
Wait, how far away am I? I'm at the end.
So you can see her. She's still within 60 feet of you. Okay? Ciendathus and Tennyson, you cannot see her.
Okay.
So Elisar, you're about 20, 25 feet behind Demea. I'm assuming you see Demea stop when she's about 15 feet
Right.
short of an intersection that you can also now see.
I also see her stop.
Yeah, can I do like one of these things where the group stops?
Absolutely.
Then I definitely stop.
Can I... Never mind. It's gonna do stupid shit again. Well, I was gonna cast minor illusion and try to make the noises that the gazer was.
From around the corner, you hear someone call out, "If you didn't see us, we didn't see you."
But I could definitely tell they were like dragging something.
It sounded like they were dragging something, yeah.
Okay.
Do I hear this?
Yeah.
And it's
Do
a
I-
common.
do I-
Alisar and Demea hear this in common.
Do I believe that they're actually going to like that they're actually willing to move on?
Just hearing the voice, I mean, it's going to be a pretty high DC, but you can, without any body language or anything like that, you can roll, but it's going to be tough. Roll an insight. You don't know.
I mean, I guess we could just.
Ooh, can I?
They've clearly heard us. So I'm at this point, I kind of like slowly move out to where Demaya is and to say like, which way are you headed? And do I see any like are there any like check symbols
Me?
that they're headed out? Sure, and I kind of like tap. I assume that like they're heading back towards that sewer. So I'm gonna like tap Demaya and like kind of motion for her to come back. And then slowly start walking back towards everyone. And then I call out, fine, and walk away and not try to hide the fact that I'm walking away.
Okay. How far away are you moving?
I guess so. How far was it to the sewer grate that we were?
Oh, you and Demea were about 15 feet from the intersection. And then you said you started walking back toward the others.
Yeah, but, I mean the ladder. How far are we from that? We passed.
You're about 15 minutes away from that.
Oh, okay.
This is about 10 to 15 minutes after you left that intersection.
That was the last intersection we came across.
No, that was the last notable one.
What are you wanting to do? Like hide in another tunnel?
They know
was
you're
thinking-
here.
Yeah, I was thinking.
You're walking away. How far do you go?
I guess back to the other group,
Okay.
like to everyone else with the light.
So they are 55 feet. So you all stop there for a moment. You then see two figures emerge from into the intersection. The three of you with dark vision can see just into the intersection. You see two figures enter, carrying a barrel between them, and turn off and head in the other direction. So can Elisar, Demea, and Baracus all please give me a perception check?
I also have 120 dark, by the way.
Oh, cool. Right. Okay. Demea and Baracus. So keeping in mind you're seeing them in black and white, so it's kind of hard to tell details. But Demea and Baracus, you are both able to tell that both of these figures seem to be fairly well dressed. They are carrying in one hand between them, they are carrying a barrel that appears to be stained with something. You both recognize the telltale long ears of an elf and the dark skin of a drow.
Like, one is an elf and one is a drow, or?
They are both appear to be drow, dressed in very fine, very well-made clothing. Between them, carrying a barrel and carrying very strange-looking objects in their other hand.
Do I recognize, like, any insignias or anything?
From this distance, looking at them in dark vision, with their turning the corner and then turning their backs to you, no.
Gotcha.
You see them for the next 60 feet, continue on in that way, and then disappear.
Is it common to see drow here?
You would know that it is not... They're still not terribly well known, or like still not terribly common. You're not terribly surprised to see a couple moving about in the underbelly of the city. with as expansive as the underbelly and sewers are, I mean, it's odd to just randomly run across someone to begin with. But for you, it's not necessarily odd to see. I mean, let's say if there was a chance that you were going to run across somebody, let's say you'd only expect a 5% chance of that somebody to be a drow.
Okay.
Like, it's not very common, but it's like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. If they're in the city, of course, they're not moving about in the streets. They're moving around down here.
Yeah, well, I know that the proprietor of the mop shop was a deep gnome, so I wasn't sure how many Tennysons people from the under would be in the city.
Keeping in mind something they changed a bit in 5th edition with the lore is that some of those more traditionally evil races, such as orcs, drow, Dorgar, and whatnot, they are more culturally evil than inherently evil now. Yeah. It's still weird. You're still glad you avoided them. But you personally have probably dealt with drow in the city before. But it's still not terribly common.
So wait a little bit and keep.
Yeah, wait for a few seconds for them to head on and then keep following the trail.
All right. You all continue on. You all get up to the intersection. Demea, you can see in the direction that they came from is another one of those symbols, the circle with the 10 spokes. So you turn left and head in that direction. As all of you eventually turn the corner, Baracus, as you enter the intersection, you feel like some eyes are still on you, and you look down, and at the edge of your 120 feet of dark vision, you can see the 2 drow standing and watching all of you turn the corner. One of them seems to notice you looking at them, gives you a bit of a 2-fingered salute, and disappears into darkness.
Okay. Just so you guys know, they saw us again. I don't know if that means anything. He kind of waved goodbye, but just to let you know.
I mean, I just keep an eye out for them back there, but otherwise I say we keep going.
Baracus, give me an insight check.
15.
He seemed rather surprised that you saw him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not typical for a tiefling to have the dark vision I have, so. That's what I get for being a shadow boy.
Yep. All right. You all continue on. After about 5 minutes, Demea, ahead of you, you see an intersection that has some faint light shining into it. You can't quite see from where yet, but it's you can see this off into the distance.
A faint light? Okay.
You can see that there is some faint light pouring into the next intersection.
Okay. Are we back to being, like, together again, or did we spread out?
Yes. Unless you guys spread back out. Tennyson still has his lantern open, so I don't know if you want to get back to scouting at the edge of his light, or if you want to hang back with them within the light again. You tell me.
I wanted to be outside of the light range again, but then I see the light and I go back to where they are to let them know that I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's very dramatic.
Don't go towards it.
Don't go towards the light. So maybe that we could be coming up on something or someone.
Seeing light ahead, I feel more comfortable. I would feel more comfortable dropping my hood on my lantern if we're moving in that direction.
Yeah, that's the direction of the symbols, right? They kept
Yep.
going that way.
This is the direction you're headed.
So
I mean, want to start trying to be a little bit more sneaky here. We've been pretty obvious walking.
Yeah. Sounds good
Yeah.
to me.
I'm okay
What's
with
the plan?
I'll start stealthing in the direction of the light.
that. We'll also
Are
start.
we
I'll also start sneaking up there.
staying in the same marching order?
I'd probably, since we're heading towards a lit area, I'd probably feel more comfortable moving a little bit farther forward. And we've been down here for a minute, so I've kind of gotten over it a bit.
Okay. Demea, are you staying out in front? Or is that Tennyson take the lead?
I'll let Tennyson take the lead, but I'll be right behind him.
So I am going to be right behind him. I'm going to follow him a little closer than I was following Demea.
So who's second, Demea or Elisar?
How far are you, Demea? From Tennyson?
From Tennyson, I don't know, like 5, 10.
Yeah,
You could be
it's
second.
close.
I don't.
because I've lowered my hood, so I only have 5 feet of dim light around me, and I'm just moving in the direction of the light.
I'll be up right next to him then. So I'll be
Okay.
second.
Okay. So as you move forward, Tennyson, you get about 30 feet from this intersection. Elisar and Demea, you can see into it at this point. It's another circular intersection. You appear to be on the solo spoke of a T, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
To where the intersection ahead of you appears to go off to the left and the right. There appear to be 2 faint sources of light coming from the walls of this circular chamber on opposite sides. One appears to be kind of opposite you. A small sliver of wall appears to be glowing. And then another similarly bright light source seems to be coming from the edge of the wall that's kind of around to the left of where you are looking, but you can't see that part of the wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I try and sneak up there and see what the source of those lights are?
Give me a stealth check.
10.
You get up to the edge, taking a look inside, and you actually see what appear to be from this side arrow slits that light are pouring through.
Do I see into the arrow slits? I kind of stuck my nose out there.
Taking a look in.
Am I getting shot in the face right now?
You do not. I'm taking that perception check as you moving up to the edge of the room to see better, not moving into that space. So moving up to the edge, but not entering the chamber, you can see the arrow. You can see that it's arrow slits.
Oh, yeah. But I definitely said I was just going to go in and try and investigate and see what was going on inside there. So,
Oh, okay.
yep.
So
I'm owning it.
You move in, and you enter this chamber, and nothing seems to happen. The main sewer tunnel expands into a circular hub with a pair of arrow slits carved into its outer walls directly across from each other. 2 passages continue on to the north and south. A stone door is set into the back wall of a stone ledge to the west.
There's no one looking through the arrow slits? No one's covering it?
Does not appear so, no. Despite how badly you rolled, either no one's watching it or you were still able to avoid detection.
Huh.
So at this point, I see him walk up there, and I kind of also sneak up there.
I'm going to head towards the ledge, yeah.
All right. You move over toward the ledge. What's everybody else? Are you, Elisar? You said you're stealthily moving up behind him?
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check. Or did you?
Yeah.
Elisar, you move in, and as you are tromping across the sewage-filled chamber, you hear a cry in a... What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, Sylvan, and Halfling.
Tennyson, what languages do you speak?
Common, primordial, and thieves can't.
Cool. Neither of you recognize these voices from inside of shouting out from the window shields, but they are small, shrill, guttural tones as arrows begin cascading through. And we will go ahead and take our break with that, and we will roll for initiative when we get back.